In today's video, we're going to be speaking about the 5 steps that you need to set up a company, get your visa and your Emirates ID in Dubai. This can be one of the scariest and most unknown things about Dubai. When we came to Dubai over 2 years ago, this was one of the things that was the unknown territory. How did we know what we needed? Did we need a free zone company? Was it a mainland? What visas did we need? Did we have shares in the company? What activities? And so on and so forth. Who do we use? Who's reputable? Don't want to get scammed. So many of these fears and concerns among you right now, and they're the exact same fears that I had over 2 years ago. So in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through step by step the 5-step process that you have to go through to set up your company, get your visas and your Emirates ID, so you're all good to go with your business in Dubai. I'm also going to be giving you 4 different golden nuggets that I wish somebody had told us that could save you over £2,000 in GBP, but also maybe even half the cost that it costs you to set up the company. So what's the first step of setting up a company in Dubai? Well, the first step generally everybody goes through is Googling who they're going to use to set up the company, right? Maybe you yourself are going to go directly to the free zone, which you can do in some cases. You know, there's eVisa, there's JAFSA, there's different free zones that you can directly go to. Or what you can do is use a business setup service. So these companies are known as like business setup, they have different categories of naming conventions, okay? So basically you could utilize one of those. Now there's a ton of them. You Google business setup in Dubai and you'll see a whole array of them, and then you'll start getting their wonderful ads. So it's a lovely journey that you go on. But you get all sorts, and they have all sorts of different prices. Now I'm just going to refer to my notes because this is a very much an in-depth process. And I'm actually going to go through the exact process that I went through. Now I'm with my partner and we have a digital business in the UK, or we had a digital business. So I am going to be walking you through the process that we went through in relation to our business. So obviously this isn't going to suit everyone. If it's just a one-person business, if there's not 3 visa holders, if there's not shares that have been split amongst you, it's not going to apply to you, but it's going to give you the broad framework, okay? So I just want you to bear that in mind. And I'm not a business setup specialist, so I do hold my hands up and say that. I just want to walk others through what I went through so you get a good gist of what the process involves. I've had many comments on my YouTube channel asking, you know, what's involved in this aspect, and does the eVisa get stamped in your passport, and at what point does it get stamped, and what's involved in the biometrics. So many questions, so that's why I wanted to make this. Okay, great. So say you've Googled business setup in Dubai. What I would definitely recommend is that you speak and get on calls to 3 of those, okay? Have a good, balanced, informed information at your hands when going through this process. Jump on calls, get quotations from all 3. And the first golden nugget that I want to deliver to you is this. When you get the quotation, do ensure that it covers the cost for the business setup, the visa, and the establishment card. Make sure that everything that you need for the purpose of you setting up your company in the UAE is all within, because they might just put in the cost to set up the company and leave their costs out for the visa and later spring that on you. So that's a really important golden nugget that I learned, okay? So that's those 3 things. The next thing, or step number 2, should I say, in setting up your company in the UAE is, what do you go for? Is it free zone or is it mainland? Right, now I just want to put this into the simplest terms possible. When my husband first said to me, oh, we're setting up a free zone company in Dubai, I didn't have the foggiest, I didn't have a clue. I was just like, what's a free zone? No idea. And to be honest, at that point in time, I really didn't care. I wasn't involved in it too much at the time. I was on all the emails. But to put it simply, a free zone is 100% foreign ownership. So you own that company 100% as a foreign expat into the UAE. But also you can actually do business all around the world, and your business doesn't physically have to be located in the UAE. An example, an IT consultancy. We do consultancy work globally in different countries, but not in the UAE. So therefore, we don't need a mainland company, whereas a mainland company is something where you want to do business in the UAE market, so you need a physical presence, e.g. a hairdresser, maybe a coaching business, maybe accountancy, things like that. Now again, don't quote me, you can get more information on all of this from those companies set up, but that is as I understood it to be, okay? So that's free zone and mainland. Figure out which one you need, okay? Also, just let you know, crypto and forex would be something like a free zone. You're doing that on a global level, so that would be for that. Now, once you've done step 2, step 3, oh, by the way, there are 33 free zones, up to 33 zones in the UAE. There's a lot of them, and they specialize in different things. Like there's DIFC that specializes in finance, and then there's like Silicon Oasis that does IT, and then there's various different ones. But the second golden nugget that I want to give you is this. There are other free zones in the UAE that you can basically utilize that actually will save you a lot of money in terms of setup. Now, you could even set it up in Sharjah, you can set up in Ajman, and the latest place that you can set up your free zone company for quite a fraction of the cost that it is in Dubai is in Ras Al Khaimah. And that's basically something that's been around for a very long time in the UAE. It's a beautiful, beautiful area where so much development is happening. But, or should I say, and they're now offering free zone company setup, and it's really a fraction of the cost in Dubai. So do look into that to see if they have the activities that you need to do within your business in Ras Al Khaimah. That's a massive golden nugget, a massive saving, something I wish that I had known when I came to the UAE. So that's point 2, okay? Now, point number 3, or step number 3 should I say, is the license application form. So if you've got a business setup company doing it for you, the whole company set up, visas and the Emirates ID, they're going to do all this for you. They're just going to ask you for the information. But if you want to go directly to the free zone and you basically set everything up with them, then you're going to have to do the applications online. They're just going to guide you and act as the interface between immigration, okay? So just note that, and the government entities that are about. So license online application. Now, this is where you set up your actual company. So this is your trade license, company setup. This is the main nitty-gritty. So let me get cozy. So first things first, you have to give 3 names for your potential company, just in case the names are taken or there's any issues with that. So you have to give 3 names. So that's fine. But then what you then need to do is your business activities. What activities will you be undertaking? Now, as an IT consultancy, you could do many different activities, right? There's IT consultancy, social media, agency, etc., etc. So then you need to select your activities. Now, where we were setting up our trade license, you only get 3 activities. Now, another golden nugget that I want to throw at you, and I wish I had known this, is that if in the future you're thinking of adding another activity, it can cost you a bomb. Like later on, I think it was 6 months into our journey, we started to do some e-com, and then we realized that that wasn't on our license. It wasn't one of the activities that we could undertake. So we had to pay a massive cost to get that added onto our activities on our license, which was such a pain, because had we thought properly from the offset and somebody had said to us, right, think about anything else that you want to be doing in the next year or 2 and make sure that activity is on the trade license, because if it's not, you'll pay a huge sum to add it on. Not only that, the next time it comes around to renewal, you'll have to renew that activity or you'll have to take it off. And And for that, you actually have to pay another cost. So do think really, really carefully about the activities that you apply. Spend a good amount of time. I don't feel like we spent enough time on that element. We didn't know, so it was just like the 3 activities to do with IT consultancy. That was a massive, massive golden nugget. Okay, great. Next, shareholders. So when we were setting up our company, there were 3 of us. So they ask you about the shareholders and the division of shares. I'm not too much gone on the information. I just know we did the basic stuff and the minimal, and that's all that was done. So I don't really want to speak too much about that. That's step 3. Now, step number 4 is basically once you've done that trade license application, and that's all gone through and that's all good, you get your establishment card. Now, your establishment card is basically a card that says, tick, your company is now set up, and also it gives you the go ahead and the green light to apply for your eVisa. Okay? So, without your establishment card, you can't apply for the eVisa. Now, just to make it clear, because I've had so many comments on YouTube about this, is the eVisa, is it like physical in the passport? What is it? The eVisa isn't stamped or anything like that. It's just a digital document that you get from immigration once your whole company is set up and you start to apply for the visa. Okay, so once you apply for the eVisa, and just to add to this, a lot of people ask what types of visas should I get. Now, we personally got an employment visa, but it's up to you to discuss with the free zone or the actual business setup service which visa would be most applicable to you. We are owners of the company, so we got an employment visa, just to let you know. So then what we did is we filled in our application form for our eVisa, and then that goes to immigration. How long does this take? Oh, sorry, by the way, I forgot to let you know. Setting up the company and getting your establishment card, that can take up to 5 working days. What I loved about this whole process is it was so quick. Like, I thought I'm going to have to do this months in advance. I think we inquired in April, and then, we were moving in June. But then I realized that, it can all be done in approximately 2 to 3 weeks, which is lovely. So we made the application form for the eVisa, and then it takes 3 to 5 working days for that to go through. Or you can do a VIP service, which takes 1 to 2 working days. So then once you do your eVisa application, we got our employment contract. That came through like the next day, comes through online. You have to sign your employment contract because we've got an employment visa. So we sign that tick. And thereafter, your eVisa is issued. So that's great. So you've got your eVisa, so that's it all in principle. So now that's done, we now have the right to fly into the UAE, which is amazing. Just to let you know, or this is part of the process and you'll know about it, but after you get that eVisa and it's approved, you have 60 days to fly into the UAE and do the rest of the process. Okay, so that's the rest of that process. Now, I know I said number 4, but number 4 is a bit of a long one. There's quite a few steps in it. So what happens after number 4 and you get your eVisa and you've flown into Dubai? Well, then comes your medical fit test. So this is basically, a lot of people are really, I think, afraid. I think I was super concerned. I was like, oh my God, what if I have diabetes? And what if they don't let me in the country? And what if they find something and they're like, no, you're not allowed. So I think everyone's really concerned about that. And they're like, what do they test for? And I mean, from my own experience, they gave us a blood test. They gave us an x-ray. It was all really, really professional, really, really quick. It was lovely. It was hygienic. It was clean. We got VIP service through the people that we went through. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. And you get the results within a day or 2. Also, to add, at that same time, you do your biometrics. So your biometrics are your fingerprint and your eye. They scan your eye retina, I think. And basically, that's used later for your Emirates ID. So the medical tests and the biometrics are done at the same time. Okay, perfect, great. Next, sorry, I just want to make sure I add this bit in. When you fly into Dubai, make sure you do this thing. So this is going to be the fifth golden nugget that I'm giving you that we didn't do, and we paid severely for it because we were just really confused when we got into Dubai because we couldn't actually get a SIM from the local newsagent or local shop like you can in the UK. So get a prepaid SIM from immigration at the airport when you land in Dubai. That's going to be needed for your Emirates ID. You need to give them a number so that they can text you and let you know it's ready. So do be sure not to forget that step. Immigration, Dubai airport, get a prepaid SIM. Okay, so then once you've done that and you get those results back from the medical, which happens in a couple of days, you have to then upload those results to, we did it to the Free Zone company because we did ours directly with the Free Zone. And then what they do is they basically approve your visa based on the outcome of the results, and you essentially have your visa, which is amazing. The visa's approved, and that comes in the form of a document, okay? At the same time that you go and do your biometrics and your medical, you do your Emirates ID registration. Your Emirates ID is the card, your pass into Dubai for everything, health insurance, you show it when you go to the doctors, whatever you do, get your mobile phone contract, get your everything that you get it through that Emirates ID. So you apply for that. And that basically takes 10 working days. It's usually a lot quicker. I mean, this whole process can be super quick. They're super efficient. Then the last step is that you basically get a text message on that SIM number, and they let you know that your Emirates ID is ready for you to collect from your choice or where you detailed on the form. So that basically is the 5 steps that you need to set up a business, get your visas and your residencies within the UAE. So what did you think about it, guys? Is that what you thought it was? I hope that explains and alleviates some of your, things that you're thinking about setting up a company in the UAE. If you want to know more, then do go to my description and download the free ebook, which is the 5 steps that you need to set up a business in Dubai. Do in the comments let me know if this video was helpful, what other questions you have about business setup in the UAE, or what other questions you'd love for me to answer in my videos. So I hope you enjoyed that, and until the next time, take care.